We're gonna have to talk about Ishuzoku reviewers again, because things are getting pretty interesting, but, I wouldn't be too worried right now. Things are a little bit under control, so first, this little bit of an update. It's still gonna be available on AnimeLab, which I believe they're also owned under the Sony umbrella through Aniplex or something like that, but FUNimation dropped it, and AnimeLab was using the FUNimation subtitles, and they had to put it on hiatus for a while. But it looks like, even though we've always had access to fan subbers, there's multiple fan sub groups on this anime, thankfully, but it looks like if you want to watch this legally, you'll still have the option. So after FUNimation showed their true colors, being against ecchi content and fan service directed towards straight males, that's a very good point. And Turd Flinging Monkey brings this up a lot, and he's right. Because we like to point out the so-called hypocrisy among the other side. That, like, for example, we see with Sony right now, how they want to censor the hell out of anime games, and meanwhile they're touting The Last of Us 2. Hey, look, this game's got nudity and sexual content in it. And your first gut reaction may be, oh, I see how it is. So your first-party Western exclusives can do all this stuff, but the weeb games can't? I see. But there's more to it than that. They don't actually have double standards when you realize what they're actually butthurt about. They hate anything that a straight man might find attractive. So if a straight man would be turned on by it, it must be destroyed. So all the anime games are gone. If a straight man finds it disgusting, like the smelly big-nosed lesbos in The Last of Us 2, nobody wants to see them naked. Nobody wants to see a sex scene involving those characters, which is why they're getting one. Because straight men are disgusted by the mere thought of that, so they go, oh yeah, we can do that. So if you look at it rationally, there really is no double standard, because what they are against isn't really the fan service, just the very specific kind of fan service that straight men would like. So back to the topic. AnimeLab slipped in to recover the fumble from the furtive outfit that seems to be about anything but fun. Yeah, Funimation's always been pretty bad, but man, especially ever since the whole Kick Vic situation. On February 1st of current year, AnimeLab announced that they would keep streaming interspecies reviewers, also known as Ishuzoku reviewers. The announcement came via their official Twitter account. Attention, interspecies reviewers fans, we are currently delayed on episodes while we adjust our sourcing of materials. So, translation, before you freak out, like this doesn't mean that they're censoring it. It's like, oh, we're adjusting the material to be safe for streaming. No, this means the source of their subtitles was Funimation. So Funimation paid a translator to do the subtitles, and AnimeLab used that same one. So now that Funimation is not doing it anymore, they need to hire somebody else to take care of the subtitles. That's all this is, so don't worry. But the show will go on at AnimeLab. Please bear with us as we get back up to speed. And in the meantime, like I said, there's multiple fan sub groups covering this show, so they got our backs. AnimeLab was quick to jump on the opportunity with the announcement after Funimation dropped the ball dropped the ball bad by canceling the series during the middle of airing it. Yeah, 3 episodes in, and they're like, oh, this goes against our standards. We didn't know what the show was when we licensed it. Yeah, bullshit. They knew exactly what or if they didn't, then they need to stop just mass trying to license every fucking show. I've asked them on Twitter, too, and of course they didn't respond, but, at least they didn't block me, yet, to my knowledge. Maybe I am blocked by the time you're hearing this. But I asked them, they clearly hate fan service shows, and yes, I know they've licensed plenty, but listening to their employees talk, they clearly do not think highly of these fan service shows. So why do they keep licensing them? Just let Sentai have them. Now, there's really 2 answers. Either they try to eat up every license they can, or they're specifically licensing shows just so other people can't have them, like interspecies reviewers here. What's going to happen to the official Western physical release now, for example? Because Funimation already paid for the license. Nothing's stopping them from just sitting on it until it expires and not passing it to anybody else. And there's nothing stopping them from legally doing that. If they want to stop official, at least American releases, they can probably do that now. So yeah, they already paid for the license and the dubbing and had featured interspecies reviewers on their site just until they realized that it was a comedy that appealed to straight males, and then magically they claimed it didn't meet their standards, so they pulled it. They didn't even bother to run the censored version, they just nuked it altogether. Well, to be fair, they were running the most censored version possible already. I don't know how the hell they could have censored it any further. I wouldn't put it above them to try, though. Maybe they could have turned interspecies reviewers into terraformers, though. There was always more censorship possible, I guess. It's not unlike what Valve has been doing with a lot of anime-themed games, which have been outright banning, thus readily expanding the Waifu Holocaust banned game list. Yeah, Valve is another one. Just banning PG-13 rated anime games because of child exploitation, while blatantly allowing casino simulators known as modern AAA games, which actually exploit children, or even full-blown underage sex scenes in games like Life is Strange 2. That's fine, because again, straight males do not find that attractive in the slightest, so that they can get away with. Now, if you're worried about AnimeLab turning on weebs and otaku and pulling a Funimation, they seem to recognize that some anime aren't for kids, and it's okay to like anime titty. So yeah, you can see the meme on screen right there. So they say, I don't think so. So you got a meme, say a hole in the wall says anime is for kids. And Rick just tears it open. Nope, and there's a bunch of titties behind the wall. Exactly. I will say, though, I've been watching anime for, over 2 decades now, pretty regularly. And I actually miss the old days when all the normies thought anime was either Pokemon or tentacle porn. That's all anime was. It's either for little kids, it's fucking Pokemon, or it's the sick-ass fetish tentacle porn. There's no in-between. It's one of those two things. And unfortunately, they've since learned that's not the case and infected the hobby and are now causing issues like this with interspecies reviewers. Weebs after my own heart. So if you're interested in giving AnimeLab a shot, they have a free trial available over on their official site. Although I will say right now, I don't know how useful their site is in America, though. Because I think most of the shows they license are for territories outside of the US, but I could be wrong on that. But definitely look into that first. So you can give it a look and see if they're worth supporting. Hey, why not? And now, we got the update. We've been informed that AnimeLab region locks their content, so it's only accessible for New Zealand and Australian visitors. There you go. So you may need a VPN if you plan on accessing the site outside of those regions. Hey, I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself. So there you go. And, the big thing, though, if you're outside of the regions they support, well, there's always going to be official translations when you can come across them while sailing the 7 seas. So, if you're already there for the fan subs anyway, and you feel like you want the official translations, there you go. Maybe that's something you can do. Maybe that's something you can do, man. So this is what's going on with interspecies reviewers right now. There's other news that, the reason I'm not talking about it as in depth is because it is just rumors, and that being that Funimation just destroyed, like they preemptively canceled their contract they had with the translator of the show, aka they violated their contract. And then they also forced this person to sign an NDA, apparently, so they can stealth kill the show. Now, I believe they probably would be that stupid, but logically speaking, I don't know why anyone thinking reasonably would do this, because there's no way, we will have just not noticed the show vanishing. There's no way you could stealth cancel this show. It was on their website, and then within a few hours, all traces of it have been scrubbed. Do you think we're not going to notice? I don't know why they'd want to do that. So again, it's just a rumor. And if this was anyone but Funimation, I wouldn't believe the rumor because they'd have no reason to be that dumb. But I've learned a while ago to not underestimate how dumb these people are. So that's the other big thing that's going on, is the translator for this show got shafted pretty hard. So whether or not this is true, I mean, if there was NDAs being signed, there's probably not really going to be many more leaks or much more information about this, at least not official. But that's what I heard, just passing that on. So the first part that I covered, the whole AnimeLab looking to continue after they, I guess, find another translator and subber, that's true. They're probably going to do that. In the meantime, we have fan subs, so we'll be fine. And potentially FUNimation has been, as we've seen with Vic, they're not really too shy about blatantly violating contracts or laws even. But we'll see what this goes. So there's your Interspecies Reviewers update. In case some of you aren't aware yet, we actually have launched the Blade Devil merch shop. Link in the description box. So if you've ever wanted to support the channel but actually wanted something physical in return, we got the shop for you now. Lots of good stuff up in here. So if you would like any of those, or just in general want to support the channel, want to support original content, original products, like Diversity in Comics always used to say, then this is probably the best way to do it. So check it out. We're going to be adding new items on a monthly basis, at least in the near future. So check back often, and independent projects like the ones we're working on are only possible thanks to you guys. So appreciate all of your support.